Why no TV gigs doing boxing? Like, do you not have time? Is it not worth it?
It's not worth it. I don't have the time. I'm a hands-on father, so I don't have the time for that.
Right. You'd have to travel and be gone doing research.
Yes.
Have you had conversation? Have there been offers before, though?
Yeah, people talk about it.
Who do you like that you see on TV talking about boxing?
Well, Roy Jones is a good talker.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a real good, sharp talker. I like Bernard Hopkins. I like Paulie Malignaggi. He's good. He's born for it.
You butchered his name, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Paulie Malignaggi.
Malignaggi.
Yeah. He's good. I think Paulie's really good.
He's born for that
Yes.
stuff.
That's like, he's a pretty good fighter, really great talker. I agree with that. I want to have Kellerman on sometime.
He's the most experienced and know more about the history of boxing than all those guys.
Yeah, Kellerman may know more than anyone. Have you guys have had some good boxing talks before, right?
Absolutely. I remember when I was living in 40th and 2nd Avenue, I used to see this guy on this broke-down radio station, and not radio station, it was a television
TV,
station,
yeah.
TV, and he was talking about boxing. Who's this guy talking about the history of boxing?
And then as time has gone on, he's like one of the only people who people say knows almost as much as you about boxing.
He's really...
Teddy knows a lot, right?
Not like
Max?
Those guys, no.
Max is different. Teddy was more hands-on, not as historical in the same way Max is. Did you see when Teddy lost his shit about the Pacquiao fight?
Oh, with Bradley?
Yeah. No. Yeah, when him and Bradley were calling the fight.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's not how boxing's supposed to be. The screaming thing. What did you think of the Pacquiao fight? We didn't even talk about that.
With Bradley?
No, not Bradley. The last one.
Who did he fight? Jesse Vargas?
No, the one that was on free TV. It was... I'm going to tell you.
I haven't been interested in boxing for a minute.
Horn.
I didn't see that fight.
You didn't see the fight yet?
No.
The Pacquiao fight against Horn?
No, how was it?
It was on free TV. It was against Jeff Horn. That's right, the Australian guy. It was great. It was really interesting TV.
Pacquiao's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I mean, Pacquiao isn't what he used to be, but it was an entertaining fight. And a lot of people thought Pacquiao won the fight, and then it turned out Horn won the fight, which is why Teddy lost his mind, started screaming.
Oh, man.
Well, I'm going to find it for you because you'll just get a kick out of hearing him get this upset. But I do think that people will care about the rematch because even though Pacquiao doesn't look the same, he still puts on a very entertaining fight.
Moving around, movement.
Let's see. I think it's cool, by the way, that that ESPN's been doing these fights for free. Because free TV fights has not been a thing.
That's big stuff, though.
Right? I think that could, and don't you think boxing needs it?
Big time.
Makes it easier for people to like.
Every Saturday, Sunday, yeah.
That's what you grew up with, right?
Yes.
Like getting to watch actual, boxing instead of having to pay, especially because these days you're asking people to pay a ton of money for fighters that a lot of people don't know yet. So why would they go pay $60 for a fight that you might think is a really high-profile fight?
Like, I think Mikey Garcia and Crawford would be a great fight.
And by the way, Crawford's last fight was free TV.
Yes.
Exactly. And I agree. People like him, you may think that they're big stars, but relative to what... Mike, there's still people out there who go, I haven't watched a fight since Mike Tyson. Like, you were the last person they paid for. And there was here's Teddy.
A win, a huge win to Horn, the local kid, for trying hard. You're not supposed to get it for trying hard. You're supposed to get it for winning. And I thought Pacquiao won the fight. If you go by the real rules, the Marcus of Queensberry rules, who lands the cleaner punches?
There you go.
He sounds like Donald Trump.
But I do think that was one of the brilliant things about your rise.
My question to you would be...
There's Max Kellerman. The thing about your rise that was so brilliant was that your team made you someone that people want. They helped set up. Winning.
Listen, in 18 months, I had 28 fights.
Exactly. Now, granted, you winning in spectacular fashion helped.
Yes.
But at the same time, they set up a plan for you, if you could execute, that people would care and think, I want to see this guy.
Exactly.
Who was do you mind me asking, who was the main part of that part of the operation?
Cuss D'Amato.
Cuss was the main one who saw the vision of like, here's what we do.
Yes.
And then like people like Jimmy Jacobs helped put it together.
Yes.
But he was always
with the film. They edit the film and then they give the film to every television station
and say, "Look at this kid.
Yeah.
He's knocking people out." It's. I just think right now you want to charge people to order a fight. They got to know who the fighter is. Why would they want to pay money for someone that they've never seen before?
Boxing have to put money in promotion to these fights. Like I was saying, Lomachenko is a great fighter. He needs more attention on.
So how do you do that? Like, what would you do? Here, bring your mic a little closer, Mike. What would you do with someone like Lomachenko to try to get him more attention?
Fighting with the best little fighters around.
Right.
And let everybody know he's superior than everybody else.
But you have to. What do you have to do that? You have to spend money. You have to get him, and like, how do you do that?
Well, you got to get him in the ring with the best fighters in the world to prove that he's the best.
Mm-hmm. But in your case,
I think he is.
You think he's the best one?
Yeah, in the 122-pound division, 125 pounds.
Yeah, he's the one. I hope that people start to pay attention. He has flair though too. He has some personality.
He's fly,
right?
He's sharp.
He's got something to him that.
Very experienced. You can tell by the way he fights. He's very experienced.
So, Mike, have you gotten a chance? You probably didn't hear this,